Coming up on 5 Minute News. Trump shared sensitive national secrets with Australian businessman. Netanyahu convenes generals amid fears of a widened war. And Russian forces intensify pressure on Kherson. It's Monday, October 23. I'm Anthony Davis. Australian billionaire and Mar-a-Lago member Anthony Pratt said then-President Donald Trump told him about his private calls with the leaders of Ukraine and Iraq, according to reports published last night about private recordings of Pratt, a key prosecution witness in Trump's classified documents case. The reports reveal previously unknown recordings of Pratt candidly recalling his conversations with Trump and build on existing allegations that Trump overshared sensitive government material. In the tapes, Pratt says Trump shared insider details about his phone calls with world leaders during his presidency. Pratt also offers searing critiques of Trump's personal ethics. Pratt gave an interview to special counsel Jack Smith, who charged Trump with mishandling national security materials by hoarding dozens of classified documents at Mar-a-Lago in Florida. Pratt is also on Smith's witness list for the trial, which is scheduled for May. Concerns about Trump's freewheeling approach to state secrets are at the center of that case. Past reports said Trump discussed potentially sensitive information with Pratt about U.S. nuclear submarines. The new reports yesterday expand what is known about Pratt's recounting of their conversations to include foreign policy matters. The latest disclosures could be used by Smith's prosecutors as evidence that Trump had a pattern of sharing sensitive government information with unauthorized people, including political donors and well-connected businessmen in his orbit. It's unclear whether prosecutors already had possessions of the tapes that were made public on Sunday. Israel bombarded Gaza with airstrikes early this morning, and its aircraft struck southern Lebanon overnight as Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu convened a meeting of his top generals and his war cabinet to assess the escalating conflict. Israel's attacks concentrated on the Gaza Strip center and north, Palestinian media reported. A strike on a house near the Jabalia refugee camp in northern Gaza killed several Palestinians and wounded others. Health authorities in Gaza said at least 4,600 people were killed in Israel's two-week bombardment that began after a Hamas October 7 rampage on southern Israeli communities in which 1,400 people were killed and 212 taken into Gaza as hostages. Fears that the Israel-Hamas war could mushroom into a wider Middle East conflict rose over the weekend, with Washington warning of a significant risk to U.S. interests in the region and announcing a new deployment of advanced air defenses. The Pentagon has already dispatched a significant amount of naval power to the Middle East, including 2 aircraft carriers, support ships, and around 2,000 Marines to help deter attacks by Iran-affiliated forces. Iranian security officials said Iran's strategy was for Middle East proxies like Hezbollah to pursue limited strikes on Israel and U.S. targets, but to avoid a major escalation that would draw in Tehran, a higher-wire act for the Islamic Republic. Russian forces aiming to contain a 4-month-old Ukrainian counteroffensive maintained unrelenting pressure on Sunday on the shattered town of Avdiivka in the east and intensifying shelling in the southern area of Kherson. Russia has focused on the industrial east since pulling back from a failed advance on Kiev at the start of the February 2022 invasion, and its forces have tried to maintain positions in Kherson since abandoning the region's main town last year. The General Staff of Ukraine's armed forces, in its evening report, said Ukrainian forces repelled nearly 20 Russian attacks around Avdiivka, its buildings now largely reduced to shells. Russian airstrikes hit nearby villages, it said. Avdiivka has become a watchword for resistance, viewed as the gateway to recapturing the Russian-held city of Donetsk and the rest of Donbass, made up of Donetsk and Luhansk regions. It was briefly seized in 2014 when Russian-backed separatists captured swathes of eastern Ukraine, but was later retaken by Ukrainian forces who, in the ensuing 9 years, have built solid fortifications. President Volodymyr Zelensky said the situation in Avdiivka and the nearby town of Mariinka was particularly tough. Numerous Russian attacks, but our positions are being held. 5-Minute News is an Evergreen podcast covering politics, inequality, health and climate, delivering independent, unbiased and essential world news daily. A crazy schedule can make it easy to fall back into your dinner-time recipe rut. Keep mealtime exciting with over 40 recipes to choose from every week, so there's always something delicious to discover with HelloFresh. With HelloFresh, you get farm-fresh, pre-portioned ingredients and seasonal recipes delivered right to your doorstep. Skip trips to the grocery store and count on HelloFresh to make home cooking easy, fun and affordable. That's why it's America's #1 meal kit. With so many in-season ingredients, you'll taste all the freshness of fall in every bite of HelloFresh's chef-crafted recipes. Produce travels from the farm to your door for peak ripeness you can taste. We all know HelloFresh takes the hassle out of mealtime, but did you know it can also save you money? HelloFresh is cheaper than grocery shopping and 25% less expensive than takeout. That means less stress in your day and more money back in your pocket. HelloFresh makes cooking so easy and fast. It's something that I really need in my life and really look forward to. Go to hellofresh.com/55minute and use code 55minute for 50% off plus free shipping. That's hellofresh.com/55minute and use code 55minute for 50% off plus free shipping. HelloFresh, America's #1 meal kit.